Ladies and gents, welcome to a pretty high-ranked arena game, but not pro level. These guys are, we've got Pags here, playing as the Incas at the 1680 elo. And then here in the blue, we have Spigils playing as the Tatars. We have started this very impressive process called the Wheel of Destiny, where I spin a wheel and the wheel tells us what elo range and what map we cast, and we ended up with these two. So don't thank me, thank the Wheel of Destiny in the YouTube comments later. Tatars Incas is an interesting one. We actually had 3 options in the elo range the wheel selected, and I selected this game because I felt like neither of these civilizations are necessarily like weak on arena, but they don't come off as like the strongest for me either. I think the main reason for that is because they don't have bombard cannons. A lot of arena civilizations that are good at a high level tend to have bombard cannons. So we could see some pretty interesting things. Incas are very flexible. Have a lot of cheap units, so like Eagle Warriors, Halbs, Skirmishers, Archers. But they obviously can't make horsemen. The Tatars have amazing horsemen. So the Keshik unique unit, we could maybe see Steppe Lancers, we could see Cav Archers. Could also see maybe Siege Ram out of either civilization here. But yeah, we're going to use this as kind of a time to chill a little bit, talk a little bit more generally. Maybe you guys are trying to play the game or learning about the game or have questions or, I don't know, want to chat about something. I'll just go wherever the wind blows me here. But yeah, this is 1600 level arena. My guess is they're going to compete for the relics and take it from there, especially because this is most likely random civ. I don't know how many viewers we have or 16 or 1700 out there, but maybe you could learn some things here. Or maybe the games are going to be more relatable for some of the viewers out there in general, just compared to a pro game. So, T90, how do we get good? It depends. Practice. Anyone who asks me that probably has at least 5 hotkeys they haven't said, right? I know you've got a lot of them, but every time you go to make a monk, you're clicking it, aren't you? Anytime you need a scorpion, you're freaking clicking those scorpions. Your trebs, you're clicking them. Actually, in all fairness, I'm not following my own advice. I think I don't have a petard hotkey. But having those hotkeys could be really helpful just to make things a little bit more fluid. I've noticed Blue's Dark Age is a little crazy. Like, 4 houses at the start, just a little uncommon. Boar is over here. 3 villagers kind of standing around. But in general, the build is... It's different than what you would expect at a high level. But it's around the same with the timings on certain resources here. T90, is it worth it to play on Xbox? I don't have a PC. Well, that's kind of up for you to decide. There's quite a few viewers who enjoy playing it on Xbox. I think you'd be worth giving it a shot. For me... I wouldn't be able to because I played it on PC for so long, right? So if you played it on PC and like remember that experience, it might be a bit jarring, but from what I see, like, and what I hear, it's a good time. So of course, but I don't know how much it is. I don't know that situation, but I have a lot of people asking if they can play on Xbox and community games and things like that. So there's definitely people out there. Okay, blue is going up. What is this interesting build order here? Okay, so he's going to go to golds. 2 on gold, which would take him to 200 gold, which is what he needs to go castle. It does feel like he's not going to have the resources precisely to go up to the next stage, though. It feels like... I mean, he does have extra food on the sheep with Tatars, so that could take him there. Feels like something's going to be missing. Red's also gone up pretty quickly as well. Feels more realistic for Red that Red's going to be able to afford what's needed here, though, I would say, based on what I'm seeing. So, T90, come to Mexico, Wheel of Destiny for your next travel. It might be Madagascar. Oh, that would be risky. Do the Wheel of Destiny to decide on the next vacation. I guess it's only risky depending on, what the list is, But, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm too much of a planner. I'm more spontaneous than ever, but I'm still not a very spontaneous individual. So, All right, so blue makes it to feudal. Market. Great stuff. What about the blacksmith? There's the blacksmith. Okay. And blue might end up proving us wrong here, guys. It does feel like there might be a little bit of TC idle time, but it's definitely going to get the buildings down. The resources should be close. Really fast uptime. Red on the other side. Did make a barracks. So now might struggle to have the wood to do the market and the blacksmith. Would technically be like an archery range as one of the buildings too, but there's going to be the market, and yeah, the barracks timing is a bit weird. My tip for you, Red, like, you probably want Eagle Warriors, right? But add the barracks while you're on the way to Castle Age. Unless, of course, you have the wood for everything. T90, if you had to assign rough ELO estimates to the AI difficulties, what would you rank them at? I don't know if I'm informed enough to really do that for you. But I actually think viewers could help here, right? Like, viewers should have a pretty good gauge on what ELO they are, and what AI they're losing to or beating. I think, yeah, what Wellen said is somewhat on par with what I've heard, that around 1,000 ELO is maybe extreme. But, of course, it does depend on how you're beating it. Look at this from Red. So I guess Red really wants to take advantage of the sheep you get with the Tatars. But no farms at all. Rushing to the next stage very quickly here. We'll probably drop the second TC here. You do get the 2 sheep from the TC once it's up. But not an eco balance that I personally would love. I'm more of a farm guy. What's my favorite 1v1 Arabia Civ? Probably the Magyars. It's not the best 1v1 Arabia Civ, but Magyars always seems to just suit me for whatever reason. All right, so there's the TC. Will we see a monastery here from blue? Blue scout is out and about. Red is adding eagles for map control. Red's build up is definitely a bit more... It looks a bit more similar to a pro game where we see eagles for map control and the attempt to get relics. But listen, I've said this before, and we just rarely see it, but if you've listened to my arena cast, I truly believe that going for relics is overrated on arena. Okay, let me take this back. 2K plus level, yeah, probably you need to get some relics or compete in some way. But I think a strict, focused 3TC boom with fast pressure can really punish the player who tries to go for the balanced approach. So we'll see what happens. Because basically, like, the relics need a long time to pay off. And that is taking a lot of Red's focus. Red is moving eagles around. You know, he's going to move the monks around. And he doesn't have as many resources to spend on his economy because he went for the barracks. He went for the Eagle Warrior upgrade. He's gone for the monastery. And here's blue. And blue's just like, we add Vils. And we hope we don't need those relics, basically. And he wouldn't be able to go for this build if he wasn't Tatar. So he's definitely labbed this out a little bit. Because the timing on the farms is making some sense here now, too. Toasty says, what about the whole don't go 3 town centers until you reach 1800 idea? Well, that would be Arabia, right? On Arena, it's different. Arena is different rules. I was talking more so in open map. And oh, this is dream scenario, dream scenario, dream scenario. It's a dream. It's a nightmare. No. Oh, man, I said dream scenario because if blue is able to use the starting scout to kill monks, that would have been epic, but I guess that's the dream for red. Again, now high ranks, what's going to happen is, right, because red's invested a decent amount. This red's going to have this realization that's like, my opponent hasn't invested anything. Now, he set the eagles up onto the relics for now. He's going to be happy to take them. I think pro-level age, you're going to have some recognition, and they're going to say, okay, I pressure this then. I go for a siege workshop. But it is always a bit tricky, too, because you do feel like you want to get that next TC up. Really like blue's economy right now. I wonder if we'll see a 4th TC. He's clearly expecting a lot of pressure. These two are very different players. Also, I have to applaud you, Blue, on your farms. They look very nice. Something satisfying about them. Very unique. Like, they're not farmed on the front at all. I don't know if that was planned out, but... We'll see. Führer, thank you for the Prime earlier. Sorry I missed it. For those that haven't been back since Hidden Cup, good day, good day. Good to be back. I'll be streaming, obviously, today. Community games back tomorrow. Live all weekend. I think I'm taking Monday off, and then Tuesday before I take a short trip with family. But those relics coming back in for Red. And Red probably just going to drop TC number 3 here in a second. Red got housed and got angry at himself. You could tell. Plopping down 1 million houses here. That farming eco's nuts. So let's talk about what do you make with Tatars. Look at these farms. This is unique, man. So, you know, it's tricky against Incas because Incas are really, really strong, right? But I would say that you want something to take map control against the Eagles. And I wouldn't actually mind like a delayed light cav play. He's not taking stone at all. In fact, he's house walled out his stone. Man, I wish I could like number these houses and then we could do a prediction contest on which house he has to delete. Because he's going to have to delete some houses, right? But yeah, it's just very interesting. All food and wood. Also, a lot of players delete their back walls. He hasn't done that. But it's been a really good focused boom, which was what I said earlier. He's got a 20 villager lead now. So I would say light cav to take map control. Even if it's late, I think it's fine. It's only a food unit. Then maybe you build a castle outside your walls. Then you start to expand. Then if your opponent goes pikemen, then we go into cav archers or something. Okay, any arena players out there, answer me this. Are you deleting your back walls or are you just leaving them there? I'm a little surprised to see that at this elo, they're leaving them there. I delete those things in Dark Age. I'm like, get rid of them! Though, I did accidentally double-click walls and include some walls in my main wall. And that, you know, if you've been there, you've been there. It's not a great feeling to accidentally delete your forward walls. But, you know, it's fine. We've all been there. Okay, Siege Workshop, University. And those might be the 2 buildings that Blue wants for the next age. Red will have all 5 relics, and Red's probably like, what is this guy doing right now? And he is going to attack the gate. All right. Yeah, I did patch it with a house, but then my opponent went conquistadors, and they shot the house down much faster than a stone wall would have gone down, so it's all good. Yo, 404, strat not found. Thank you for coming back. Also, Koozie, thank you for the Prime. Someone's asking, do you have a wedding date yet? And then someone responded about my wedding to them and said, marine biology themed, T90 is a sea cucumber, and his fiance or to-be wife is a manta ray. That is not true. It is not a marine biology themed wedding. That is not true. I am not a freaking sea cucumber. We don't have a date yet, no. We've been engaged for actually over, like, for 2.5 years now. What in the world? 2.5 years, crazy. Which is just mind-blowing to me. But we were never in a big rush. The goal is to get married maybe in, like, 2026, 2027. So we'll be, it's kind of stressing me out just thinking about it and trying to, like, plan for that. Because you kind of got to plan weddings ahead of time, you know? It's crazy. So we are going to most likely, near the tail end of this year, be looking at some venues and deciding on that. So, WTF 4 to 6 year delay. Well, that's the thing. In our situation, nothing changes, right? We are going to be married, and she's going to no longer be fiance. She will be my wife, but like, there's no immediate change for us. We already live together. I already know she's my person. She already knows I'm. You know, she has the unfortunate understanding that I'm her person, right? Raw deal for her. So, you know, we were really busy. She's going to be graduating. And So we didn't want... We want her to be able to focus on school and all that stuff, so... All right. Why are you stalling? It's not a stall tactic, all right? It's not a stall tactic. Look at the resources collected for blue. This is what I meant earlier. You can get a really significant lead with a dedicated 3 TC boom. Blue is 1 minute of TC idle time. But red has just crossed 1,000 gold brought in with relics here. And red's done a nice job behind all this. So Light Cav initially here from blue. Light Cav should take care of the eagles. Red has no clue what blue is doing. Actually, that might not be true. Now, this scout's on patrol. This scout didn't notice this. And it's going to be full Hussar here from blue. Now, I like the way blue has done this, because for the most part, he's committed towards one thing. He's going to show that one thing. The one thing is going to be strong. And he's already thinking ahead about what his civ is good at. But I think also, he's going to have red one step behind, because red is going to have to deal with the Hussars. He's already queuing up pikes. And then the archery ranges are coming up. So I assume that's going to be for a cav archer switch. Tatars actually get hand cannon, by the way. Which it feels very weird. But they do get hand cannon, so you could actually go for gunpowder instead. I'm not streaming my wedding, no. However, we may do a lottery for subs because her family is much bigger than mine, and I don't want it to have, like, my family in a tiny little table, and then she's got a big family. So I was like, you know what we can do to fix that? We can bring chat in, right? We can do a raffle. Subs get extra entries, basically like community games. And we use the community game bot, and we select, I don't know, maybe like 15 people to be at a table. We'll have a Twitch chat table, right? But the thing is, you guys can't communicate with words. You have to communicate. You have to have a laptop in front of you. You communicate only with chat, right? Because you guys are used to that. It would be too awkward to have to speak to someone face to face. I mean, what even is that, right? But the only thing is, guys, when the wedding happens, you have to sign a waiver that says you can't say it's rigged. That's the main thing. So, you know, if you can't agree to that, you're not allowed in, all right? Sounds like a great idea. Sounds like a fantastic idea. I love how blue's played this. I think this is really smart. Let's see if red can hold. Now, upgrades need to fly in. But Hussar put red into a situation where he's gone for Halb. Now red is going to go for skirms as well. Is Halb skirm great here? It is. But blue has come forward with this castle, and blue is ready to pressure. And very frequently, wherever the relics are is always on the front of the base. So if you break in, you can just take those relics away. T90 will flub his lines in the ceremony, and he'll hear a single Keck W from the back. Oh, that's funny. Honestly, I wouldn't be upset. It wouldn't bother me. I think it might bother her, though, which is kind of important. She's kind of a big deal. Trebs are on the way. Well, Trebs will be on the way after conscription. All right. Well, blue is certainly boomed up. Red is feeling the heat now because of the timings on this, and red moves forward, trying to take engagements with the Halbs. Didn't know the castle was there, runs directly into the castle. Blue's beasting it right now, and I think it's really easy to sit here and look at that and say, well, you know, red overextended, but it's just this timing. When you've collected 5,000 more resources than your opponent, and then you come to the middle of the map at this timing, is really difficult for people to deal with. And so, you know, of course, everything depends. You know, preferences are different person to person, but if you're going to learn anything from this, if you're a player who normally tries to play arena like red, try playing it like blue every once in a while. And don't play... It simplifies your game to just focus on the eco and then have that big attack come. Cav archers are heavy cav archers now. And yeah, this composition is a big problem for red. And red might have all 5 relics. But red's going to lose this castle. Red's falling apart. You could tell there's some panic here. And normally, when there's all this army at the front of your base, next to all your production buildings, There's no coming back. And the Wheel of Destiny decided that we would have the most lopsided, quite possibly the most boring game arena you've ever seen. But it was only boring because Blue played like a god. Blue played great. Can we please salute Blue right now? This makes me happy, right? Because I'm an opinionated man. And I said at the start when Blue dropped those TCs that I thought this could be good. Opponent had all 5 relics. He still collected 6k more gold just because he focused on the 3 TC boom. He didn't oversimplify things. He didn't overcomplicate things. So technically, yeah, if you could play a credible Age of Empires 2, you should be competing for the relics and also booming considerably. But the majority of players, even all the way up to 1700 here, they can't manage the boom and the relics at the same time all that well. So a straight boom is something players at this rank can probably manage. And it worked here. Now, I'm going to tell you what to do from Red's position, okay? And I kind of talked about it before. I think when you are sitting with full map control, of course, it's really easy to just be like, all right, we have 5 relics. We win now. Ha, 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 ha. But think about how Blue played this game, right? Blue didn't have any of this stone accessible for a while, had to delete the houses, had to break out. What if, when you have the relics, you actually go for a Castle Age attack here in Red's position? You go for a Siege Workshop, you make some pikes, you mix in some rams. What does Blue do then? Well, guess what? Blue can't drop the stables here. I mean, Blue can, but then it's risky, right? And then maybe mistakes happen. Blue can't take the stone properly, which means maybe the timing on the castle isn't there. All of this that happens, even though Blue's on the way to Imp, whatever. If Red's pressuring, if he plays an extended Castle Age, then this makes life awkward for Blue. Which, of course, then means Blue maybe struggles to hit the timing with the attack. Red has a little bit more time to chill. If Red has a little bit more time to chill, then maybe Red holds with the relics. Does that make sense? I'm going to ask right now that even if you're not here to learn, I'm going to ask that everyone just say yes. It clicks for me, Tina. Just say that, okay? And then people on YouTube as well, you can do the exact same. No, I'm not explaining it again. You can watch the video. I hope it's making sense. I think this should apply to other levels. Okay, perfect. Great. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Happy to help. Hopefully the Wheel of Destiny doesn't give us Arena again. No offense, Arena players.